Hello everybody, welcome to the Onslaught video blog. If you follow us, you know we missed last week. It was a holiday, and so we decided to take it off.
Yeah, doing the barbecue family thing.
Things that are going on here for Onslaught, we are still working on the game Squaretaire. If you have been playing it, you noticed that last week we put up the latest gameplay. So there's actually two game modes in there now. Presently, Mike is working on putting in the third game mode, which I guess will be done this week.
It'll be up tomorrow. It'll be up Monday. It almost all works. Just gotta iron out the last couple little things. It'll be up tomorrow for sure. That's the third and final game mode. At the moment, we're calling Twisted. It may get changed, the name of the mode, but the gameplay will still be.
Right. And I'm working on the icons to go on the phone, and then we will get on to the little polish things and stuff like that. I got the sounds, I think, all pretty much figured out. They're all actually in the project, but they're not assigned anything yet. So the sounds will be next after that. Some quick polish, and hopefully we'll just publish and it'll be out on the phone.
So.
We've taken on a new person onto Onslaught that's helping us out. Her name is Lauren. She has her bachelor's degree in psychology, which we're quite a piece of work for her to study. And she's going for a master's in game design. She comes to us with a different outlook and a different way of looking at things, and it's a fresh, new.
Yeah, it's working out real good so far. Definitely helping us look at things in a different angle, and
right. We're a little too technical, and so she's helping us with our technical issues.
Very true.
So she's helping us. We came up with another game idea, another small game for the phones before we move on to Diluvium, which she has also experienced. Diluvium. We've played the tabletop version of Diluvium with her. And hopefully she's going to stay on and work with us on Diluvium. But this other game is pretty much, we're kind of letting her run with it, actually. We came up with the idea, and she's working with us and going to put her twist on it, I guess.
Yeah, no.
It'll be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good meeting about it. Lots of different ideas were thrown around. It was fun.
So
where it's going.
That's the latest with Onslaught. I just wanted to make mention for those of you that are out there in game development or are interested in game design. This magazine is definitely worth the price of subscription, which I don't remember what the price of subscription is.
It wasn't that bad. It was I'm gonna say $40 for 2 years.
You know, you can go look it up online. You can go subscribe online and see what it costs if it's something you can afford. But to be honest with you, there's a lot of good information. What's going on out there? What other companies are doing? Most of them are bigger than people like us, but some of them are not. And you know, it's a good source of information of what's going on out in the world, in game development. I don't know if anyone has gone to, last weekend was PAX 2012 Prime, PAX Prime in Washington State. I know a few people that we met at the Boston guys.
They did another huge indie mega booth, they called it, I believe.
Yeah.
Took a huge chunk of the convention, so like to see that, like to see the indie guys, you know, getting out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't have much information. Haven't talked to anyone that went there yet. Don't know how it went, but you know, it's definitely something that indie guys are getting a little bit more attention at, which is awesome.
Exactly.
On to Unity. Unity 4 they're working on release. Should be released soon, though I don't think they've given an actual date.
Yeah, there hasn't been an announced date that I've found, at least. It's looking good. They're making a lot of progress on it. And the biggest news that we just heard of is they're going to be supporting Windows 8.
Right.
So that's going to be amazing for, you know, the phone guys, because now we can get on all the phones, you know, Android, iPhone, and Windows. And I'm kind of interested to see where that's going to go and what's going to be involved in. I'm assuming it's going to be nice and simple. just like the
Hopefully
Android
it'll
and
be
iPhone development.
yeah. Hopefully, like everything else in Unity, it's pretty simple as long as you have the proper SDKs from that company.
Yeah.
It's almost straight over. A couple little tweaks here and there to make things work out. Sometimes, not even all the time.
Yes.
To be honest with you, we're going back and forth between the Android phone and the web development with absolutely zero change in Squaretaire, our present game. Bombo would need some changes, but that's a whole different story. I think I mentioned last time, but we're considering releasing Bombo out onto the pads, the Android pad tablets. Too small for phones, but that's another story. We'll get to that another time. Also, if they go to Windows 8 in Unity, does that allow us to, at some point, get onto the Xboxes and stuff right through Unity, right?
Not sure. You already can develop for the Xbox with Unity. You gotta go talk to them.
Oh, okay.
They don't,
So it's a special purchase at this point.
Same with PlayStation.
Right.
Like,
That's so Wii's that way, and PlayStation.
they don't have a pricing point for it or anything. It's get in touch with us. You need
which PlayStation we'll get to you in a minute. And also the Windows 8 release. My understanding from what I saw from the fellas over at Unity was that the Windows 8 will not be like when Unity 4 originally releases. Windows 8 is not going to be totally supported at that point. But during the course of the Windows 4 cycle, like they did with Unity 4 cycle, like they did with Unity 3, they're adding more and more, and so they expect that to be completely integrated through that sometime during the course of that release. Won't be immediate. Sony.
I don't even. We came across an article about Sony and their new indie. What do they call it? Indie Pub or something like that.
Yeah.
Their new indie outreach. And after reading the article, to me, it feels like the biggest scam ever to me. For those of you guys who didn't read, we will link the article down below. But the way it sounds is, you go talk to Sony, and if they like your game, you will have to self-fund yourself. Self-fund yourself? You'll have to fund yourself and make it. And they will come there, poke you throughout the process and, check up on you, make sure the game's going good. And then, when you're done, they will give you a cut of the proceeds.
So that seems fair. I mean, you could do that without them, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's my big problem with it, is like they're putting out this whole we're going to help the indies, but it's no different than a traditional publishing scheme,
Now, you got to fund the whole thing as far... Now, this is how it reads to me. You got to fund the whole thing, all right? If they like the idea from the get-go, then they'll try and guide you along the way.
Yeah.
And then when you're all done, they'll take the bigger cut and they'll give you something out of it. So far, one game has actually gotten as much as it was going to get, as promised, as much as $500,000, which is a nice profit. But if they're giving you $500,000, they're certainly going to make their money. It seems to me that the deal over at Xbox, now I've always been a PS fan as far as the game consoles go, but I see the Xbox as being a better deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And certainly, if you can get on the Xbox and do well, and you do well on Steam, guess what? Sony's coming to talk to you.
Yeah.
So what do you need them for this? I don't get it.
It sounds like you get all the stresses of having to develop under a publisher.
Right.
But you don't get the publisher to give you money or give you any sort of major help.
So when you need that check to buy that extra artist or that extra programmer to get this thing over the edge and get it finished up, you can go to the bank and borrow the money from there.
Yeah.
It's
just sounds like a weak attempt by Sony, and I felt they've always been the weakest when it comes down to supporting indies, at least from my point of view. At least there was a way to get on the Xbox. There's a way to get on Nintendo. Sounds like with the new handheld, they may be a little more friendly towards it, but I'm not positive about that yet.
I'm not sure on that. I don't know much about Sony's handheld deal.
But yeah, Sony's always been weak against the indies, and I think this is just another weak attempt at it.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to
A
get they're trying to get their name out, saying that we are supporting the indies. But the fact of the matter is, you read through the article, at least to me and to Mike, it doesn't sound like they're doing anything for you really. If you got a good game, they'll come and find you. Trust me. So I don't really see what they're offering you. The only plus that I could see in this whole thing is that if you have some sort of paperwork or something from them saying that they're interested in this game, perhaps if you were to go to a bank with that, the bank would say, well, Sony is looking to get involved, so maybe you would get the money as opposed to going, me and Mike working out of our office here, going to the bank, go and say, well, what do you have? And it's like, oh, I got my house, that's...
Yeah, you have a little more cred, I guess.
I guess, but other than that, I really don't see a point in it.
Depending on how the paperwork's done, they don't say any details of that, but it sounds like Sony could drop you at any time. So, you get Sony's okay, and you're going forward with this, and you use it to get a huge bank loan because you're like, oh, we're going to Sony. When it's done, and Sony's just like, yeah, never mind, we're not interested anymore. Now,
I don't see anything that says they couldn't do that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just an article, so I don't,
Yeah, I haven't gone through the whole process or anything like that.
But I agree. There's nothing to sit there and say, oh, you're guaranteed.
Yeah.
They don't. And they're doing it this way so that they feel that they can let the indie developer go down whatever road it is that he's thinking about going down, which anyone who's ever developed for a publisher knows that that's bullcrap.
Yeah,
that's bullcrap. You can do that, but if it's not the direction they wanted it to go, okay, see you.
Yeah, with Sony checking up on you, I can guarantee that's not going to happen. They're going to be sitting there. Well, you know what? I like green, but red's more of a Sony color or whatever.
Absolutely. And we've gone down that road part of the way with Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'd have to say they were good.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely they're looking for a certain thing. They're looking for you to go a certain way. They want they see the project. They get an idea for the project. And in the fairness to them, they're more successful than we are, so I'm guessing they have a pretty good idea where they want it to go. And if you have the opportunity, you probably should follow that, I guess. But as an indie company, indie developers, pretty headstrong. They want to make what they want to make.
Yeah, we're making our games for ourselves.
So that's just the way it is. But people sell out every day.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up for indie news.
Yeah.
We do have the SIG coming up. They have SIG have a meeting, Strong Island Gamers, on September 13th, out in the Danny Webb headquarters, which is out in Uniondale, here on Long Island. I believe the agenda for the meeting is going to be focusing on marketing and how an indie company can do some marketing tactics, get their name out there and spread the word. Definitely something that interests us.
Unfortunately, I can't go because I'm going to be in Virginia looking for the new Onslaught headquarters. So I won't be able to make it. And to the guys at SIG listening to this, listen, dude, Uniondale at 6 o'clock is absolutely horrid traffic. I don't know. Maybe Stony Brook would be a good place to do it. Is that more Center Island? I don't know. That would be my suggestion. If the guys at SIG like that suggestion and want to talk to Stony Brook, we could possibly help you talk to Stony Brook and arrange for an area or a conference room or something like that. Also, New York Gaming Meetup. They have a couple of things going on. Monday, tomorrow, September 10th, they have a conversation on music and games. It's interesting. Music games can be pretty fun, and there's not a ton of them out there, really.
There's a couple good ones. There's a lot of junk ones. But it's definitely something fun, as musicians and indie game developers, that's kind of something we always enjoy. I'm thinking, not so much Guitar Hero type games. I mean, obviously those are the big ones, but I'm thinking like stuff that plays with music and music either drives the game.
Things like that. There's not a lot of good ones out there like that. Speaking of music, Mike just bought himself a guitar.
Plan on playing
Sort
all
of a late graduation present to himself. Pretty late, actually.
Only a couple years.
Couple years. Sweet guitar, so we'll be jamming later on. We already jammed this morning too.
Yeah.
So we had to break it in. We just opened it up. So.
Exactly.
Back to New York Gaming meetup. September 24th is their demo night. They have, I think it's 5 or 6 different local guys showing their games. So that's always interesting. I think it costs $10 to go to that, and meet some people, see what's going on.
Get out there. I'll tell you what, we already got hooked on one of the games. We were playing right before we got here.
We're suckers for silly games. And then in October they have another gaming conversation,
That one
which
sounds
is
interesting, yeah.
media, news, and games. It's really, we're having a little trouble understanding exactly what it's about, but it's the integration of how gaming and news and media all fit together, working, I guess, together. I'm not so much sure that it's like how people like us to advertise as it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a marketing talk for us or
Right.
if it's how to gamify, your traditional newspapers and traditional media.
More interactive media.
Yeah.
You have to read through
Yeah,
it.
you'll have to read through it. They have
know.
some good names showing up. They have guys from AOL. They have
Right, AOL Games. The head, one of the guys from AOL Games. They got a guy from the New York Times, and the other fellow is a college professor, journalism college.
yeah, they have some experience talking. It'll be definitely worth hearing what they have to say for sure.
I can't make the game.
The demo night.
This month, so I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping there's going to be another one in October that I can go to.
Yeah, we can all meet up there.
Go in there, check out the games, go out drinking with the fellas. Come home on the subway. It is the city. You got to go have some little bit of fun.
Exactly. I think that wraps it up for this week. Actually,
that's it. It's kind of a short one. We want to go play. I'm leaving tomorrow for vacay. So we'll talk to you
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. All right. Take care now. Bye.